Well, unfortunately, in the state of Washington, you have to use non-standard paper for the initiative petitions. They have to be 11-inch by 17-inch, which means for most people, you're going to actually have to go to a copy store to get them. Now, we've tried to make this as easy as possible. We're going to do a demonstration as if you're going to FedEx Kinko, since that's probably the largest copy store in the country and most standardized. But just follow along with me. Try to make this as easy as possible. Just open an internet browser. If you're not already at the Freedom Initiative's website, go there. Now what you want to do if you're not already on this page watching the video from here is you can actually go to Washington Initiatives, I want to sign now, and click. Now first thing you want to do is find the nearest FedEx office near you. So you should click this first link under this text, find location. That will open up a new window at the FedEx site. There you just put your zip code, in my case 99019, and hit enter twice. That will bring up a list of the FedEx locations in your area. What you want to look for is you want to look for one that actually has a service. So these are just drop-off locations, the first two. You go here, you'll see the various services here, and that's the one you want. That will be the closest one to me, and you just click on that one. You're going to want to make note of the address here because that's where you want to go to pick this up. If you don't know where it is, there's a convenient little map here, so you can find it easier. Now, the one thing you want to make note of is this location here, this number here, 2897. That's going to be the location you're going to put in the email address, or the easiest thing to do is just to copy this. Right-click and copy, or Control-C, depending on what type of computer you have, and have that in memory. So now that you know where to go, you're going to want to arrange a time to go down there and print these petitions off. I'd recommend doing it just on your way to or from work, or when you're out and about on a weekend when you're in the area, so it doesn't take up as much time as otherwise it could. But what you want to do before you go is you want to send an email to them with the files that you want to print. And I've made that as easy as possible. All you have to do is go to step 2 and click on this link, send email to FedEx office, and will automatically generate an email if you're using a program like Outlook or Thunderbird. Now, all you have to do is just say, where am I sending it to? Who's it from? Remember how you copied the email address? Well, you just highlight that and paste what you copied from the FedEx office over there. And then everywhere there's a pound sign, you just change it. For example, if you're going to come by around, say, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, change this to 2 o'clock. You want to personalize this, put your name down here, and then you're going to want to put your phone number, which I'm going to leave out for now because I'm not giving them a personal phone number here. And then you also want to, if this is default, so as if you want 3 copies of each. If it's only 1 copy of each, you can change that here to change this to 1 here and 1 here if you want, or you don't even, and if you don't want to copy the extra, which is in this case is 1053, you don't have to either, but you just modify this however you feel comfortable modifying it, but this is good to go. The main thing is you've got the link here to the file. Now, if you want to attach it, it's optional. You can. Some people like doing that better. You can go here and click on this, and it will download the petition into your downloads folder. And you can just download that to the desktop and attach it, but it's not really necessary. You've got the link here, so this is basically good to go. You just send it, and you're ready to go down there later to pick it up. Now, if you don't have a program like Outlook or Thunderbird that automatically generates an email message when you hit this link, and say you use webmail type of service, what you can do is you can click this link, and a text of the email will come up just like it did on the email. You just have to push it to cut and paste it in. So you cut this in cut and paste that in the subject line, cut and paste this into the body of the message, and just change it like I did with a prior message. Now, once the email is sent, you're good to go. Kinko should send you a confirmation email, also stating that they will contact you if they need to. A reason you might want to have your phone number down there. Then you just have to go down there. If you told them when you're coming down there, that tells them, we want to have these copies available by then. So they should be ready when you get there. I literally, in less than an hour's time after sending the email, I got down there. I waited 2 or 3 minutes for a representative, and when I said I am here to print some initiative petitions, She knew exactly what I was talking about. They were ready to go. I just paid for them. It was about $11.73 plus tax for 3 copies of each of the 9 petitions, about 40 cents a page, and you're good to go. Now, if they're not printed by the time you get down, you just might want to remind them 11 by 17 sheets, both sides, and you're ready to start signing. Now, one thing you do want to check on is you need to be registered to vote before you sign these things. There are a lot of petitions, roughly 25% that are invalidated because of actually signatures that are invalidated because people just aren't registered. So if you're unsure, click on this link here, and that'll bring up the Washington Secretary of State page where you can check to see if you're registered, or if you're not registered, you can get information on how to register. First thing you want to do is you're going to want to collate them. So that you make sure in one stack, especially if you got multiple petitions, you have one of each in each stack. You do not want to sign the same petition twice. So if you have a duplicate of the same petition in here, that's no good. So you want to go through each of these, make sure you've got each one of I-1059 through 1066. Those are the freedom initiatives that we're sponsoring. And I would go as far as to leave 1053, which is one of the optional petitions. There might be others that are added later. Keep it in a separate stack, especially if we're getting others to sign it. You or other people might have signed these at a separate event. You definitely don't want people just to mindlessly be signing these petitions and not realize they signed this one and they signed it again another time. So I'd sort of keep these separate so people know that you make sure they're only signing it once. So basically, you just make sure you print your name here. It's got to be legible. Otherwise, they're going to have trouble, trying to figure out who you are. Sign it as you'd sign it on the voter registration card. Your signatures need to match. Your home address, and now it's important. You might have a mailing address and a home address. It needs to be. It's probably your home address. It's where you receive your ballots. It's what the address they have on as far as the Secretary of State's office of where you're registered to vote. City, county, email is optional. If you have signed up at our website, it's really not necessary. This is just to keep you updated as far as what's going on in the future. We want to do this every 6 to 12 months, and we'd like to send out email updates to let you know what's going on. If you do choose to sign up by signing this instead of going to the website, just also be aware you only need to sign one of these petitions. Once we've got it in the database, we don't need it anymore. Now, I would recommend that you take these around with you. You've printed out the petitions. You got 20 spaces for 20 signatures. If you're a little more ambitious, you might have 3 separate petitions to go for 60 signatures. But you've already gone to the trouble of printing it out. You should give it to your friends or family. You might take these to work. You don't have to be in people's faces. You could just lay these on your desk, and people would say, "Well, what are these things?" And you say, "Well, these." Then you explain about the state sovereignty movement. If you're lucky, they'll volunteer to sign. You ask them if they want to sign. And you might, this is the power of multiplication. The more people you can get this in front of, the more people are going to know, not only greater likelihood of us getting on the ballot, the more people are going to actually know what state sovereignty movement is, and that these bills, most of them were in the House and were voted down. And people need to know that. Now when you're finished, you've got all the signatures you want, you're going to want to go to the back and make sure before you submit any of these, there's this disclaimer statement in the upper left-hand corner. You want to print your full name here, sign it, and then it's good to go. You can basically mail it back. Now, you can probably mail these in a standard envelope. Just fold them once lengthwise. Then fold it into thirds. And then see if you can stick it in a standard envelope. Now if you have multiple petitions, it might not even fit. You might need a manila size envelope. I mean, if you've got like 3 copies of each. This just might fit in here. Here is the mailing address where you want to send the petitions. For those of you who do not want to take an extra trip to the post office to weigh the package for postage, as of February 11th, it costs exactly $1.22 to send the 8 freedom petitions in a standard envelope like this via first-class mail, which is roughly 3 44-cent stamps. If you include 3 times as many copies, you should count on 3 times as much postage and so forth. That's basically it.